Hello boys and girls, welcome back to another video, and a slightly alarming video in my case, talking about a few articles that have been popping up over the past couple of days, and actually a bit of news that I've been looking back on over the past few weeks, but wasn't quite sure if it was real or not, and unluckily, by the looks of it, it is. Looking at the Daily Mail, Birmingham Online, the various newspapers, with the headlines reading this: new speeding laws could mean a ban at just 32 miles an hour. What this is talking about is a new speeding limit enforcement guideline that's coming into place on the 24th of April this month, 2017, and it's going to get very interesting very soon by the sounds of it, if this isn't just a complete load of rubbish. But the amount of newspapers that's reporting on it kind of suggests that it might be legit. By the way, shout out to my boy Alpha Male in the YouTube comments, and James at least for less. Thank you two for pointing these articles out to me, and remember that if you want to point out some more articles to read out on the show, please don't hesitate to send them to me on Twitter at PanosTV, or down in the YouTube comments, or on Instagram at PanosTV as well, and you'll get a shout out just like that. So this new potential speeding limit enforcement that's going to come into place in the UK could mean that the speed limits are speed limits, right? So 30 mile an hour, technically any faster than the speed limit, say that could be by 1 mile an hour, and you could be nicked for it. The police over the past few decades have enforced the limit by 10% plus 2 generally. So 30 mile an hour, 10%, 33 mile an hour plus 2, 35 mile an hour and up, and you can get 3 points on your license and like £100 fine roughly. And it would sort of scale gently like that. So 70 mile an hour would be, say for example, 79 mile an hour-ish, around that, and speeding cameras would get you on the motorway and the police would generally nick you for it. First change is potentially that for every speed limit, we'll take 30 mile an hour for example, even going a mile an hour over could land you 3 points on your license. So that means that 32 mile an hour will give you 3 points on your license, 32 mile an hour and a 30. That's talking about 42 mile an hour and a 40, 52 mile an hour and a 50, and 62. It scales up like that. A very interesting point that I'm seeing being brought up as well is that under the new rules, the points limit will be 20. So the points that you can get on your license will be increased in exchange for the fine limit, the limit in which you can be nicked being reduced. So you can do a much lower speed and be nicked for it, but you could be nicked more times, which means that this sounds like a money grab. Oh, what a shocker. So a point that I realised just as I finished filming, and I'm going to add in quickly now, is the amount you're fined now will be charged depending on your relevant weekly income. So it's not just a set amount anymore. If it's the say the lowest fine, it's between 25 and 75% of your weekly income. If you're, say, doing a band B or band A fine where it's like 90 mile an hour and a 70, then it can be between 125 and 175% of your relevant weekly income, plus up to 50 days disqualification. So it gets pretty serious if you do some real speeds and you get caught for that. But the relevant weekly income is an interesting thing because it's no longer a set fee. I'm guessing they're going to take a peek at your bankroll and see how much they can take from you. It was my dad actually that brought up a very good point when I brought this up with him, and he said that the reason that the speed limit was 10% plus 2 was generally that speedometers on cars are pretty damn inaccurate, depending on the inflation of your tyres, the size of your rims, and the tread wear itself can actually affect how your speedo reads. It could almost be between 3, 5 and sort of almost 10 mile an hour out on what you might think, depending on if someone's changed the rims or the tyre size on the car before you've bought it, what inflation rate it's at, and all sorts of things. So I can see a hell of a lot of people being nicked here, just for the fact that their tyres might be slightly less inflated than they should be, their car's on different size rims than it would normally be, anything like this, I can see a lot of money being lost and a lot of people being out of pocket. Daily Mail says ministers are braced for a massive backlash and have promised to consult further over the details. Sure, right, yeah, that's going to happen, isn't it? They're gonna leave it 2 years, earn a few hundred thousand, and then decide to do something a little bit different later. The point to argue is that people are going to be staring so hard at their speed coming into areas that they're probably, like Jeremy Clarkson once said, going to be running over children just because they're trying to keep to exactly 30 miles an hour. Something about bringing in a weekend disqualification system for letting drivers use their car for work. I don't know what that's about, but it just seems like no thought's been put into any of this, and it's just like, it's someone who doesn't drive who's come up with these legislations. By the sounds of it, it's someone who generally takes taxis and gets chauffeured around, and maybe someone, you know, sped past them and caused them to spill their champagne on their lap. Completely against, you know, speeding in towns and, you know, school areas, places like that. But on open roads, motorways, you know, big wide national speed limit roads, why would you have to stare at your speedo? People a bit of freedom. Look at this of German Autobahn. I'd be happy for like a German Autobahn system where you know, it's really tightly restricted in towns and cities, but then as soon as you get onto the motorway and open roads, you can just go for it. The Germans seem to be doing all right with that. Can we take an example? You know, can we take a leaf out of their book? Let's be honest, cars are not accurate when it comes to speedos. People do not need to be staring at their, you know, exact micron accurate speed all the time. And I'm against speeding. 2 miles an hour. Let's get real. It's not going to happen. Speeding in cities and towns where there could be kids running across the road and doing all of that sort of thing shouldn't be allowed, so I get that. On open roads like motorways, I don't think there's any need at all. And it really is just overkill. And in that case, a way to just get that little bit of extra revenue that they're so desperately looking for by the sounds of it. So guys, let me know what you think down in the comments, if this is going to affect you badly or not. I'm not looking forward to this at all. And I think this is just going to make things worse on the roads than they already are. And I'll probably end up with a ticket by next week. So keep me informed, guys. Again, make sure to drop articles that you want to see covered in the show down in the YouTube comments or on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Make sure you drive safe out there, guys. And I'll see you soon. Have a good one.